Praise the Lord and happy Mother's Day. Hi, this is Bishop Robert Joyce, and I'm calling in right now. I'm tuning in right now with Rib Tips with Bishop Robert Joyce. I'm here to tell you we're going to have fun tonight. I'm going to talk about some things that my mom taught me about how to detect whether or not someone has a good heart. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Bishop Robert Joyce. It's Rib Tips Live. Call somebody and let them know that Bishop is on the air talking about relationship. And for the next 15 minutes, he's going to give us some tips that's going to excite us, that's going to encourage us, that's going to strengthen us as we prepare for our next relationship, as we are strengthened in our current relationship. Again, thanks for joining us. Hello, Carol. Welcome to Rib Tips with Bishop Robert Joyce. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. I want to just share with you a couple of things. You can always go on my website at lifecenterchurchmichigan.com and leave a comment, leave a question. Hello, Shonda. Thanks for joining us. You can always leave a donation toward my building fund, or toward my radio broadcast, or my TV broadcast, or my new book, which will come out this fall. We hope to have it out before Sweetest Day. Okay. Again, happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. We're really going to jump right into this message tonight, which is how to discern whether someone has a good heart. You know, as a child, my mom used to always say, "Boy, that boy got a good heart." Hello, Pastor Nita, how you doing? Boy, that girl got a good heart. Hey, Michael, thanks for joining us tonight. And so we call this, from the academic community, we call it emotional intelligence. And, you know, it's a way of knowing things that you've been taught, that you recognize it. There is IQ, which is academic intelligence, but then there's EQ, which is emotional intelligence. And tonight, we're going to talk about emotional intelligence, some things that you can learn or you can observe so you can have a successful relationship. And again, I believe one of the components of having a great relationship is having a great partner. In other words, what am I working with? You know, and so it's important for us to have a good relationship from the start. Picking out the right person. You know, if you are a cooker and if you're a chef and you go and get and select your meat, you're very careful about the meat selection that you have, or the vegetables or the fruit. All those things are quite important in the making of an excellent meal. Well, when it comes to a relationship, if you're going to have a solid relationship, your partner is a real key. And I think sometimes in relationships, we overlook these factors, and so therefore the chances of us having a great relationship is greatly reduced. So I'm going to share some things that you want to look in and look at and be observant about when it comes to selection of mate. You want to see whether or not this person has a good heart. In other words, is there a fundamental goodness on the inside of them? Are there things on the inside of them that can build on this relationship? Hello, Jackie. Thanks for joining us. All right. Now, so the first thing I want to talk about is if you're going to have a solid relationship, if this person's going to have a good heart, do they have nurturing relationships? Again, last week, if you missed it, you need to get my video on why date. We talked about these things, some of the different benefits of dating. And one of the benefits of dating is that you begin to look and see the fundamental value system of the individual. And tonight we're looking at one of the values, and that is nurturing relationship. Hello, Walker. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us. You want to see whether or not they have healthy relationships around them. How are they with the relationships that you see them engaged with? their brother, their sister, their mother, their father, their cousins, their workers in the office, their workers in the church? Do they have these type of nurturing relationships? Are they a nurturer? Can they give love and receive love? Or are they one-sided in their love affairs? Are they only receivers? I tell people that love is what I can give to you at my expense, and lust is what I can get from you at my expense, at your expense, okay? And so if we were in church service, I'd tell you to look at your neighbor and say, do you love me, or are you just lusting after me? Okay, all right, here we go. And so what we see here is that you want to examine their relationship. Hello, Bishop Joyce, thanks for joining us tonight. You want to examine the relationships during the dating process, and you're looking and see how they engage other individuals. Are they only what they can get? There are people that I go out with from time to time, and there are some that will never ever pay for the bill. And I'm not talking about big ballers. Big ballers always pay for the bill. But I'm talking about people when you're all on the same socio-economical level, and if one is always going to the bathroom when the time for the bill comes, that's an indication of them having some greed issues or some cheap issues or some selfish issues. Well, that's the same kind of thing you want to see in your relationships. You're looking for those kind of things. Yes, I'm in my chivalry. Yes, I'm going to pay for the meal for my date 99% of the time. However, it doesn't hurt for her to offer every now and then, showing me that she is willing to participate if our relationship went further. But if we're eventually going to begin to go further, and you're always expect for me to pay for everything, that tells me that you are not just frugal, you're cheap. Hello, Valencia. Thanks for joining us. So, item number one, you want to check and see their nurturing relationships. Who else are they involved in? Are there a mutually nurturing relationship, or are they the quote baby? You have to watch out for the baby. They expect everybody to cater to them. And it's just like if you're dating somebody who has celebrity status. You know, one of the things that happen, they have that privileged mentality. They have that entitlement mentality. And so sometimes they're hard to develop a relationship with because it's so one-sided. And that's the same way it is. Here go, I'm finna hit them. I'm finna walk on some sacred cows. It's like PK kids, pastors' kids. They think that they are privileged. They think that they are, you should cater to them, and that they have this privileged position. And so sometimes they end up being in dysfunctional relationship, not being able to have a relationship because everybody don't see you as a PK. There are people that see you as just another kid. And I may not be special in the sight of the church eyes, but I'm special in the sight of my own mom and daddy's eyes. Okay, so all right, the playing field is level if you want to have a successful relationship. So number one, I want to point out is nurturing relationships. Number two, I want to test and see the whole concept of sharing. Watch them. If you want to test whether or not they have a good heart, do they share? Sometimes kids are raised not having to share their toys or share their play items. And so they end up being very selfish. With my kids, I know at that time I was able to buy a whole lot of toys if I wanted to, but I didn't. I made them share balls, like basketball, or share their one toy, or share their PlayStation. Why? I was teaching them the concept of sharing. So when you're dating somebody, you're checking to see, are they sharing? Or do they want all of the pop? Or do they want all of the juice? Do they drink all of the smoothie? Do they get the last egg every time? All these things are indications of that selfish nature that's on the inside of them that you're going to have to contend with if you go to the next level. So all of these are are signs as to whether or not they have a good heart. I call it a good heart. Okay, you're looking for the signs. You're looking for indications of the character and the nature of this individual. You're trying to find out as many things as you can about this significant person before you marry. Now, I understand that there are some things that are only going to be uncovered as you're married. Okay, but there are some things that you can find out before you get married. And so this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find out everything that I can before we get married so that I can determine whether or not we are going to get married. Some of these things that I'm going to find out can be, when you put them all together, they can be a deal breaker. So you want to know, do they share? Do they share their parking spot? Do they share their good fortunes? Do they share their information? Or do they hold on to information as a source of power and a source of control? Okay? And so it's important for you to find out how much they share. Do they share things with you? Do they share information? Do they share blessings? Do they share resources? Do they share inside tips? And so all those things are indication of what type of heart they have. All right? All right. So now watch this. Here we go. Number 3. The next thing is, do they have empathy? Empathy. Do they empathize with other people? Do they sympathize with people? Do they, when you're out and you see somebody in the cold, do they have empathy for that person? Or they see someone who is less fortunate than you are? Do they have empathy? You're looking and listening for those. Do they have empathy for brothers or sisters who have to take care of seniors and they don't because of geographical locations? You're looking for their heart. This is what you're trying to discover. This is a heart issue that you're trying to find about your significant other, all right, before they become your mate, okay? All right. All right, so it's important. You're looking for that feature inside of them. You're looking for a concern for others. Are they self-absorbed or are they concerned for others? Do they, in driving, little things like, do they drive like they're from New York or do they drive like they're from down south? What do you mean by that, Bishop? I'm glad you asked me. Are they very aggressive? Do they not let people in? Things like that. Do they help open doors for people whose arms are filled with bags or packages? Do they let someone? Do they ever help out somebody that's struggling? We've all seen somebody at the grocery store and they're looking like they're $1 short or $5 short or $3 short. Do they care? Are they concerned about their situation? Hello, Sharon. Thanks for joining us. You've seen people in line have to take something back because they don't have enough finances for it. Do you try to help them out? Or do you just go ahead and just, okay, that ain't nothing to me? No, you're looking to learn. You're trying to learn this person to see if they care for anybody. Hello, Bishop Ronald. How you doing? Thanks for joining us. Out of Trinidad and Tobago. All right. Hello, hello, Shelby. Thanks for joining us today. Now, so you're looking to see what kind of attitude, action, behavior this person possesses, because if you're going to go to the next level, you're going to spend a lot of time with them. And if you are a caring person, they are going to be insensitive. How do they talk to waitresses and waiters? Yes, call me later on tonight. Thank you. How do they treat waiters and waitresses and people in the catering industry? Are they nice to them? Are they mean to them? How do they treat the maids? How do they treat the house cleaners? How do they treat the lawn care people? How do they treat the garbage removal people? All right? All these are indications of their concern for others, okay? And so the Bible says this, by this shall all men that know that you're my disciple, you have love for one another. So I'm looking for people who demonstrate love. Don't just talk about love. I'm trying to learn you. And all these things are giving me an indication of where your heart is, okay? Let me give you another one. Accepting differences. Do you accept differences of opinion, differences of culture, differences of car style, hair and hairstyle? Do you accept the differences of the other individuals? All of those are indications of whether or not you have a good heart. If someone has a different opinion of you, there are certain conversations that's just opinionated. There's neither right or wrong. It's just you have a different philosophy than I do. All right. And so you want to hear that. Part of the yanking process is you want to yank out when someone has a difference of opinion. You want to observe and see how they argue. Do they argue with